right, guys. Episode 21, Snagged podcast. First one of the new 2025 year. That's it. Everyone's getting excited. Everyone's giggling already. It's going to be a great start to the day.
We're back.
Pooch, have you got a new intro for this year?
Well, no, I haven't worked on anything, but maybe 2025 could be the year of two things. Maybe it's the year of sort of more controlled, quiet, understated intros and trimmed goatees or trimmed beards.
I like it.
Thomas,
I did actually trim mine back.
Did you? Let's have a look. Get more in shot. Are you going to be in shot on the recording? Because, yeah, look at you go.
I'm here. Don't you worry about that.
Don't trip over, stub your toe and die. You'll be straight to Valhalla.
I know, mate. That's what I'm working on.
The intro is welcome. The intro is welcome to the first Snagged podcast and giveaways for 2025. And I think the last time I was on, I had to go abruptly, so I do apologise. That was last year. Now seems so long ago. But what had happened? My daughter had fallen over and fainted in Bento and cracked her head on the concrete floor, split her head open, and she was at hospital. And she needed me, so I had to go. Sorry, anyway, no doubt he's held the fort, and I'm back now.
We battled through. It's all good.
Cool bananas.
Sounds fair enough.
Let's go.
That's probably fair. It's very good. And I guess cool things. You've been getting the Friday Night Hot Bite back up and going. Been watching that pretty closely myself.
Been a bit of pressure to get the Hot Bite back up and going. I was having a bit of a rest over what I call the off season, which is that late end of winter, because there's not a lot going on, and it was also coincided with the gravel rally that I was asked to go in, so it was pretty awkward. I was going to try and get back around the start of November, but got busy again, and then I thought, well, I'll just put a few up ready for setting up for this year. So yeah, we've done a little poll over on the Hot Bite, and the gods have spoken. And they've decided through the little poll that we did that we'll do the Hot Bite Friday nights from now on. So we'll go back to the Friday night Hot Bite. It'll mean a little bit of preparation from me throughout the week because I don't have the luxury of being able to do it on the all Friday like Moz used to. But it was very heartwarming to see that 4,800 people watched that video of the Hot Bite back. It normally taps out at around 2,500 to 3,000 people watch it over the week. Like we do it live, but there's between 70 to 100 people watch it live, but it's more the people that watch it at their own leisure. But anyway, we've got some exciting things to talk about on this show, so let's talk this one up.
Absolutely. All right. So what's been happening? Who's been fishing? I know you've been doing plenty. I've been working, but what have you been up to?
Pretty much did a bit of a north and east little trip, so I had to work up North Coast on the 23rd, so I thought, screw it, took the boat up there and start my trip up there. So I started around Burnie, poked around a few reefs and stuff like that, trying to see if there was any kingfish lurking around, got heaps of salmon, but that was about it. Did manage to catch a squid on a 40-gram jig. So
nice.
Squid Games.
That happened. Moved in through Port Sorell, same thing, heaps of salmon, and then working back along that northwest coast, pulled into Weymouth, got probably some of the biggest leather jacket that I've ever seen in my life. These things were ridiculous, so it would have been pushing like 50 centimetres for a leather jacket. That is,
that's a stonker.
Pretty big, plus some whiting in between there as well. Then cut off the north-east coast because it was right on that weekend where there was about 50k winds going everywhere across the north coast, and I didn't really want to be a part of it. So cut through to St Helens, and it was still windy there, but enough to get out. I managed to get my first kingfish of this summer up at St Helens on one of those Shimano flash boots that I grabbed from here. So I got one, and then we lost a few others. Adam Norris came out with me on one trip and got a kingfish to the boat. I didn't see it, but he was very adamant that it was a kingfish. So,
salmon, definitely a salmon.
Yeah, and yeah, on the flats at St Helens as well. I'm sure there's been a fair few people that have been fishing the flats at St Helens and everyone's been doing really well. But yeah, got on some really nice, just consistent brim on the flats at St Helens. And yeah, what else? Moved down, sort of Coles Bay area, heaps of squid, like actually ridiculous how thick the squid were.
Yeah, cool.
Like first cast, quarter squid, 5 squid came up with it, and then it was just leave that squid in the rod holder, tie another squid jig on, catch the other 5, and then they'd bring up more when they'd go for runs. It was probably about half hour, an hour.
That's awesome. It could suggest that maybe the closure's doing what it's meant to be doing.
Yeah, no, it was ridiculous. Like I probably never had squid fishing that good. And then yeah, pretty much moved. It was New Year's, and I got dragged back to Hobart to have a few quiet beverages. Keyword quiet. And then yeah, did a couple of trips out of Margate and that, looking for the kingfish, heaps of bait. Like, I don't know how there's not anything chasing them. The water's at like 19 degrees. Like, we were driving through that Northwest Bay area, and like you just see schools of mackerel, barracuda, like salmon, just like everywhere.
Yeah, it's almost a bit bizarre because like you look at the other years that we've had, the kingfish have always been held up in Northwest Bay, but I don't know, there's heaps of bait. Like you said, the water's warm, but there's nothing really around there.
Yeah, but then yeah, we also went out and went with Will Thorpe trying to chase some gummies, and we caught probably some of the biggest 7-gillers that I've ever seen in my life. But Will did also get a nice, I think it was 1.2 metre gummy shaft.
Yeah, nice.
Down in Storm Bay there. And then on the Saturday, just before we thought, screw it, we'd give one more crack. So me and Will Thorpe went out again, and we were fishing deep. We were fishing in 23 metres of water, trying to see if we could find a snapper, find a gummy, something interesting. And then Zarby's hooked up. This thing's fighting a little bit. And what the hell is this? I jump to the back of the boat and look at it come up, and I see a bit of colour, and then I see it snap in half. And I'm like, Zarby, like, not to freak you out or anything, but I think you got about a 2-kilo crayfish on a rod and reel.
Oh, I swear.
And yeah,
what a hero.
We got her up in the boat, and she was a nice little Sunday morning treat. So yeah,
that's it. And then just your boat troubles there.
Yeah, always boat troubles. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I was camping for 10 days straight. Did 1,500 kilometres with a boat. Like, boat got used every single day, like, no matter what the weather was. Like, that's the thing, if you use your boat and use your car often, like, you're going to have stuff go wrong eventually. So,
absolutely.
No, sounds like a good trip. But yeah, no, it was a really good trip. Really good.
Nice. Well, I didn't really get out that much. I had to go up to Coles Bay for a family thing for my beautiful partner Jen with her family. Had a couple of Americans over. Managed to have a quick little flick off the jetty there, get him a couple of new species, and took him for a hike up into the back end of the Swan River. I guess it's a Moulding Bay up there, they call it. Or what's the big bay up the back there?
Yeah,
so the one super shallow, but managed to take him in there, get a few brim and stuff like that. So that was kind of cool. He'd never done that before, and yeah, it was kind of good. Myself, did you get out for fish, Dana?
Oh, I worked every single day.
You worked every day. Hospitality, you got to love hospitality. That's it. And Hooch yourself, managed to get out in the water at all?
Just before the back, went for another dive. Really enjoyed that. Managed to find a couple for the Chrissy table and a couple to give away to friends and family. So, yeah, the weather was really, really good. The ground we chose was out off Sisters Beach. And it's interesting ground. Like, it promises the world. And when you're under the water diving, it's very good country that you think would hold a lot of crayfish, but it's full of urchins and the holes are pretty barren, and you've got to cover a lot of ground to find them, and you only find one or two at a time. And so while it's a good dive, it's a fairly tiring dive because you're just swimming, to the end of your hose, and then you backtrack, making sure that you're not sort of getting going round circles, and you work your way back to the boat a couple of times in a couple of fans, and then you pop up and move. But we managed to get a few. It was a great day, so we enjoyed that. But up here on the northwest coast, there has been some pretty cool angling going on. Lots of salmon about, like you say. A few yellowtail kingfish, but not many. Oh, actually, topically, we might, because I haven't got out much because of the back, we might ram a bit what's going on into Hooch's Hot Hints. I don't know whether you caught that kingfish post that went up, and it was just a fairly vague Tasmanian caught kingfish. And everyone went crazy because it was quite a reasonable sized fish in the photo. But did you see how it was called for Photoshop? Because there was no other hand in the photo, and because of the size of the thing that it looked, they all called it into dispute. And it was actually quite embarrassing. As rec fishers, we need to calm down and stop squealing and looking like kids all the time. I'll just show you something that I don't know whether this will work or not. So here's SpongeBob SquarePants. And sorry, I don't have another prop. But, okay, that looks like, and I've got on my, so if this was a fish, right? Let's just say this SpongeBob, head of the fish, tail of the fish. And I've got my hands here. See? And then you go like this. Doesn't look like a real big fish. But if you're clever about it, like some of us are, and you hold the fish in a certain way, right? And when a fish is big, it's got a belly, you can sit your fingers under it like this, right? Or you can get your thumb in under here like this, or hold a fin on the back of the fin. You can hold the fin, right? So your hand is not very prominent, and then you hold it out, right? Oh,
All the size, mate.
How do you even catch it?
All of a sudden, it's big fish. Oh, it must be Photoshop because you can't see his other hand. It's like, as humans, as a human race, just shut up sometimes, some of you people on Facebook. Just sometimes put your fingers back in your pocket. You don't necessarily have to type what's in your brain until you have a little bit of a think about it. I was just a little bit disgusted at those people that sit back on their couch or on their laptops and they just lampoon shit when they don't think about stuff. And that might be something I'll actually do a little bit of a video on catching a fish. It could be a salmon or some of those leather jackets you were talking about. Speaking of which, leather jackets are quite nice eating too, so don't get disparaged if you do catch a couple of nice leather jackets. A little bit of a technique to skinning them, but like anything, once you've done it once or twice, it's a bit like squid, isn't it? Like the first time as a kid, which was some years ago now, caught squid. Well, that was a hell of a technique too to work out what the hell I was going to do with the squid once I caught it. And I often now get people ring me up, say, I've caught squid, Ooch, how do I clean them? And it's not rocket science. Once you've done 3 or 4, it's fine. Same thing with the leather jackets. But getting back to my point, I might catch some fish and do a little video and just show some people exactly what you can do with perspective and also with your hands. Because, we want to make our SpongeBob SquarePants pencil box lids look massive. Look at the size of this. Look at the size of this SpongeBob SquarePants.
Looks Photoshop to me.
Anyway, sorry to rant, but some of these things do shit me to tears while I'm lying on my back on the couch having a look at Facebook.
Yeah, everyone just needs to be nice to each other and laugh.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a hard game because it's just anything. Like any post on Facebook, you go through, you'll have like a couple of people go, oh yeah, like where'd you catch it? Like genuinely asking for help, which that's what you'd expect. Like say you put up a photo of like a nice fish, you expect people to go, oh, okay. Like what you do, like just trying to gain tips and stuff like that. But then you just get people that just absolutely carry on. It's like, seriously.
Bye-bye.
Quick example is just prior to Christmas, they did a ABC radio spotted a photo that I did, which was we'd caught a few crayfish and I had like 11 or 12 crayfish because Mozza loved a silly photo. And so I sort of keep doing, that sort of thing. One, because I love a silly photo, and two, in his honour. So I had a crayfish on my head. I had 2 or 3 or 4 on my shoulders and some on my laps, and I had my mates stacking down my arms. So there might have been 10 or 11 crayfish in this photo. So it goes up on Facebook, ABC Radio shared it, and you get all the flogs. And I'm sorry, I won't pull any punches. They're flogs. Stone cold, unadulterated flogs, because the first thing that comes out of their mouth, oh, you shouldn't have so many crayfish. Oh, what's going on? Where was he fishing them? The limit's only 2. It's like, if you actually sat and thought about it for a second, do you think that you might have gone with a few mates? You think you might have gone with 4 mates? You think that you're allowed to take 4 each, which is, given the fact you're not going to go for another 2 months, at 4 each for 2 or 3, 4 months is fine. But oh no, out come the fingers, and you just look like a giant flog. We just need to stop it. And I mean, we can't stop the hellacious, greenies coming out with the rubbish because they're uneducated in that matters and they won't think one iota when it comes to what we do and how we go about it as rec fishers. But as rec fishers, we shouldn't be in that party of people that come out and trap off without thinking about stuff. But I think we've done that to death. Just something to think on.
No, I like it. Lead by example.
That was exactly right. Good way to start off the year with a little bit of a rant.
Yeah, Hooch's hot takes.
Hooch's hot rant.
He's on.
Rampant rant.
Hooch's Friday night rampage.
Yeah, that's it.
The back pain meds are wearing off. Sorry.
There it is.
I'm getting grumpy.
Right, well, let's get into the reports because we got bucket loads of stuff there. Take a few weeks off and look at them all come flying.
Yeah, no, well done.
All right, starting with saltwater this week. Sebastian Longman with a cracking 71 centimetre snapper from down south. That was a cracking fish, so good job there, legend.
Yes, Dane Stewart. Gray with a cracking little kingfish. I was expecting more. I've read it 3 times. Dane Stewart Gray with a cracking little kingfish. Nice.
We got Jason Watling and family with some cracking Northwest Coast whiting.
Yeah, Alex High with a cracking salmon to finish off the year. Good job, legends.
Sam Byrne, some nice kingfish to start off the season.
We got Damon Sheriff up north with some hefty kingfish coming over the side. Did see that post.
They were big fish. That man can fish, can't he?
And like in the post and stuff like that, he starts off by mentioning how it was a frustrating weekend when he's holding about like a 1.2 metre kingfish.
I thought he must have been over New Zealand.
Yeah. No, it's like frustrating weekend as he's holding a 1.2 metre kingfish because he lost a couple others. So
I don't know whether he's doing what Hooch was talking about and just holding those fish out in miles, but even if he had them at the very peak of there, they still be huge fish.
No, they're good fish. They're good fish in the northeast.
I tell you, I'm not sure he knows how to catch small fish. Everything he seems to catch, it's huge.
Look, there's a little bit of perspective about those photos, but they were good fish. And in the northeast and northwest, we are getting those bigger fish, and people are learning more and more how to catch them. And they'll be down the east coast as well. It's just a matter of trying to find them and realising that more often than not, that you come across a reasonable school of kingfish. There are some real thumpers amongst them. But when the kingfish,
I think the thing with Damon is like, hat off to him because like every fish species he targets, he's always pioneering new things like snapper fishing or catching these big kingfish. He puts the time and effort and actually researches what he's doing, and that's why he gets rewarded with decent fish like that. So hats off to him.
But like, it's completely gone. I've got no idea.
Hat off.
All right, cool. What do we got next? Dean Hodges with a cracking kingfish. Another kingfish for the win.
Sam Nicholas, father and son, wombo combo. First kingfish, not a bad catch, boys.
We got Jack Adams here with a awesome little brim on the fly, epic looking fly.
It's cool. Did you see it? It was one of those like long, elongated. It was almost like transparent with red fleck and stuff. It's a cool looking fly. I was trying to figure out what they were. I need to go on that post and actually ask him. All right, where are we up to? Lockie Nichols with some cracking crays, the little one out in the boat as well. Merry Christmas to the big guy and the Nichols family.
Now, I want to say Grant Hewinet.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how to pronounce it either. It's a cool name either way.
Yeah, sounds like it could be a rugby team somewhere there. A great start to the year. Some nice tamer snapper. Haven't heard that one in a hot minute.
The old horn from back in the day, mate.
No, I couldn't do snapper. I couldn't do snapper anywhere. We got Emily Johnson here with a stonker of a gummy.
That's good fish. Well done. Awesome. Ben Wallace with a nice King George whiting feast from the beach. It was a cracking fish, so well done, my man.
Danny Panay. Nice haul of the King George whiting. Didn't keep any under 400. Awesome work.
It's good because it's nice to see there's some bigger King George because definitely, especially up in George's Bay, they look like they were starting to drop down in size a little bit. So to have a good catch like that,
but it's weird. Well, not weird. It's a good thing. In the tamer and stuff like that. All year round. They're there. I've gone there in summer and I've also gone there in just peak winter because trout season closed and there's nothing really close to Lonnie. Yeah. It's not trout. And, you'll still find whiting if you put in the time. They're there all year round.
Yeah, I think once they get in there and establish that, I guess you say colony or whatever you want to call it, they're there. They're a little village.
Yeah. Once they get a village in the tamer, there's no going back. There's a whiting village.
Yeah. Well, they obviously get into spots and stay there and just breed and do the thing, which is cool. Which is hence why George's Bay is fishing so well.
Brett Spinks getting in on the long line and out managing these awesome gummies off Adventure.
Yeah, Brett Spinks getting his long line out. He knows on the boat, on his post saying it'd been a while, so he managed to get some epic gummies. So good job, legend. All right, Arthur Whittick with an epic brim. Like every brim he catches, they're always stonkers. He's out. I was looking at some stuff photos and stuff. I didn't put them all in today, but dive for an egg. Got an epic cray. I think I saw a snapper in there somewhere. Boys having a crack.
Now, talking about stonker snappers, you got Max Newitt with a stonker snapper.
Epic fish.
Mate,
All done, legends.
We got Heath Howard. Smile says it all. 67 metre.
60.
Yes,
You better be back at work a day, man.
I'm done.
I'm going to jump in there. Heath Howard's smile says it all. 67 centimetre blue spot flatty. You got me doing it. The biggest flatty has ever caught off the beach.
Screw the 3 metre.
And
67 metre flat.
67 metre flat, 3 metre flatty can go. He did say it was caught up at Stumpy's Bay, which is awesome. So good job there. Over into the trout. Adrian Slater's young fella Jaden, second double figure trout for 2024.
Is that double figure in tons or is it just?
Mate, it's a big fish. Don't lie. Like it was a crazy.
Well, we're going off 67 metre flathead now.
Well, you know what? I know everyone's getting these 3 metre flatty things, but like, 67 metre flathead is so much better. What's a lot better, isn't it? Awesome work, young man. You did a cracking job.
Yeah, nice one. Adam Hill fishing the Great Lake for an epic day on the Browns. I hope you're talking about fishing, yeah?
Yeah, well, when you got to go, you got to go.
Fisher on the midge. Fisher on the midgie?
Mitch, no, you're right first.
Fisher on the midge, obviously. Always fun when they're doing that. What is that?
Well, you see, that's the best thing about your report. The reports you do is a lot of these lingos you don't actually know.
Wouldn't have a clue.
That's right. Tiny little insect, great fun when they're on the midge.
Midges.
That's it. Well, let's go like that. Yeah, let's go. It's different, but sure.
Roger.
Yeah. We got. What are you trying to do here? Do you want me to just say Jason Forster?
I don't. I'm doing this one. Jason Forster and Ethan.
Scripts cooked.
That's it. Well,
I can work under these conditions.
We'll blame Dave for that one. Jason Forster and Ethan back up to Talbot's Lagoon for a morning fish. Caught plenty on plastics. Well done, guys. And that is our first report. That was chaos. That was fun. But, you know, that's what the rest of the year's going to be like. There's plenty of reports. Get a bit of sun, some good weather, and some time off for people, and away they go.
All right.
Now, guys, thanks for joining again this week. We'll be back next week. We're back and ready to go again. Don't forget to jump on Friday Night Hot Bite and support Hooch for that and the team. Don't forget to jump over to www.snagged.com.au, get yourself a membership to win some epic prizes, and we're going to have some cracker ones this year. So, bigger and better for 2025.
Get those likes and subscribes in, eh? You beauty.
It worked! You! Hooch has no idea what's going on. He's paying me.
Just got me in the eye. It's bloody got me in the eye.